Hi, I'm Caitlin from Glen Academy, and I'm in 10th grade, and I'm going to be reading to you Scooby-Doo and the Shiny Spooky Nights. The mystery machine bumped along a dark, empty road. Scooby-Doo and his friends bumped along too. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere, Shaggy said. I hope we have enough gas. All at once, the van stopped. Ruh-roh, said Scooby. Zoinks, said Shaggy. We are out of gas. No, said Fred. He checked under the hood. Engine trouble. We have to call a tow truck. Velma and Daphne looked around. Where could they find a telephone? Look, Scooby cried. He pointed down the road. I hope it's a house, Velma said, so we can use the phone. And the fridge, said Shaggy. The gang walked towards the light. The light grew brighter. They were getting closer. Suddenly, Velma said, Jinkies, it's not a house, it's a castle. The castle looked spooky. Scooby dug in his paws. He didn't want to move. Come on, old buddy, Shaggy said. Think fridge. In a flash, Scooby swam across the moat. He banged on the drawbridge with his tail. The drawbridge dropped. Suits of armor stood at the door. Cool statues, Shaggy said. Clank, clank. The helmets snapped open. They weren't suits of armor. They were knights. Shiny, spooky knights. Who goes there? One of the knights cried. Nobody, cried Shaggy. He and Scooby backed away. Come on, said Fred. We have to find a phone. Scooby shook his head. Roll away. For a Scooby snack, Velma said. Shaggy and Scooby raced inside. Inside the castle, a chamber swung back and forth, a chandelier. Creak, creak. That's funny, said Daphne. There's no breeze. What's making it move? Ghost, Scooby whispered to Shaggy. Ghost? Shaggy said. As a strange man rushed into the room, the man opened his mouth to speak. Scooby stared at his sharp, pointy teeth. Rings, said Scooby. He's a vampire, Shaggy cried. Shaggy and Scooby ran, but the vampire ran too. Like, since when were we running? Shaggy said. Let's run to the kitchen. Right, Scooby said. In the kitchen, they saw a woman. She stirred a giant pot that bubbled over a fire. A witch, Shaggy cried. You two are perfect, the witch said. Just what I need. No way, said Shaggy. We're not part of your spooky recipe. Shaggy and Scooby raced away. Stop, cried the witch. Stop, cried the vampire. They chased Shaggy and Scooby down the stairs. A dark, dark dungeon. To a dark, dark dungeon. Scooby and Shaggy backed into the corner. Suddenly, a mummy leaped up. Time is up, he shouted. Our time is up, Scoob, cried Shaggy. We've got to get out of here. They raced up the stairs. Stop, cried the mummy. Stop, cried the witch. Stop, cried the vampire. Let's find Velma and Fred and Daphne. Then we'll get out of here, Shaggy said. Finally, Shaggy flung open the door. Down below, they saw monsters and zombies and ghosts. And Velma, Daphne, and Fred. A knight stood over them. He held his sword tight. What should we do? Shaggy asked Scooby. Just then the vampire, witch, and mummy leaped beside them. Jump, said Scooby. Jump, Shaggy yelled. Shaggy grabbed the chandelier. Scooby grabbed Shaggy. They swung across the room. Shaggy and Scooby dropped to the floor, right on top of the knight. My sword, the knight cried. Grab it, Fred, Shaggy shouted. Fred scooped it up, but then gave it back to the knight. Scooby hid his eyes. He was afraid to look. Relax, Velma said. The knight is going to cut the cake. Velma stepped out of the way. Now Shaggy could see the party cake. It's a costume party, Velma said. But, said Shaggy, what about the ghost chandelier? I was pulling the string, said the vampire, to move the chandelier to place. And the witch potion? Shaggy asked. Punch, said the witch. I wanted you to try it. And the mummy warning, time's up? The mummy smiled. My nap time was over, but you chased us, Shaggy said. Sure, said the vampire, to invite you to the party. We knew it all along, right, Scoob? Said Shaggy. We were just acting. Scooby looked around at all the smiling faces. He stood up and bowed. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Would you like to use the phone now? Asked the knight. No rush, said Shaggy. How about some cake?